Hello, everyone. Welcome. Tuesday, April 29th. We have a Champions League semifinal between Arsenal and PSG. Promo code ROTO15, ROTO15. As soon as we went live, we just got lineup notification. So that's why we're here. So let's take a look at lineups. The one question was how Arsenal were going to look with Thomas Partey suspended. And it is, looking at it right now, it is as projected. So you got to assume Mikel Merino is going to move back to the midfield with Rice and Odegaard, and then Trossard gets the start. So the front three is Trossard, Martinelli, and Saka. And yeah, otherwise, no real surprises there. Thomas Partey, obviously a big miss, but Mikel Merino has played in a few positions this season for Arsenal, and he has played well for what has been asked of him. As for PSG, I don't see any surprises here. Douye gets to start over Barcola, which was projected. I believe Barcola started, or I believe this was the lineup they used over the weekend against Nice. The 3-1 loss. Again, League does not really matter too much for PSG. Yeah, just looking over the lineup, making sure I don't have a mistake. But yeah, this is pretty much as projected. So all right, see you guys later. See everyone later. That's all we got. No surprises from the lineups. That's all I got. Rotowire.com/. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'll go over a few things. Obviously, this won't be as long as some of the other shows. We'll go over DFS thoughts. I'll end with my score projection, how I think this game is going to go, etc., etc. Again, promo code ROTO15, ROTO15 to get 15% off any RotoWire subscription, and rotowire.com/chat to get into our Discord. We've been talking all day. Our guy Ryan Belangi has been giving his Arsenal thoughts throughout the day in the Discord. Check those out. Here the implied goal totals 1.56 for Arsenal, 1.22 for PSG. This is a cheat sheet here. Reminder, you need a subscription to get our cheat sheets. Arsenal slight favorites at home here in the first leg. Clearly their injury list is a little more busy here, but they've obviously they've gotten past Real Madrid and everyone else with all these injuries. They have pretty much their A squad, though. Arguably their A squad outside of Gabriel is out. Havertz is Havertz. Marino has stepped in well for him in there. Partey probably the big miss because he's played so much this season, and it's more of a new absence there for Arsenal. So that may be one thing that changes up how Arsenal play a little bit here as we look into things. So I guess I'll start. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. I'll get to them as we move along. But, I'll be talking showdown. Showdowns are obviously a little different than a two-gamer or a classic slate. You play things a little differently. And especially for cash versus tournaments, I'll get into some ideas there. But, I pulled up, in case you're an overall fan, I pulled up FOTMob and noticed El Hilal and El Ali are playing. So if you want to watch some soccer here before this Arsenal PSG game kicks off, we have Ivan Toney, Riyad Mahrez, Roberto Firmino, Galeno going against El Sari, Mitrovic, Ruben Neves, SMS, Reynan Lowe. Just all these guys are playing right now. So give it up to the Saudi boys there taking the money. But my thoughts on this game, as we look at the anytime goal scorer, is Dembele with the best odds to score. Okay. I don't know if I believe that one entirely. Plus 240. Not crazy odds there. Saka at plus 260. And Kvara plus 320. Marino's down here plus 330. Okay. How do I think this game is going to go? So without Partey, how is Arsenal going to want to play? I was trying to figure out the best route here for Mikel Arteta to play this game. And I think that while there's been Arsenal have maybe attacked games a little more at times recently just to get things going offensively, I think this is a game where Arteta maybe, I know it's home, so maybe this isn't going to come to fruition, but It feels like Arteta's going to be like, okay, Luis Enrique, you guys can possess the ball, but we're not going to allow you to have great opportunities in front of that. You can maybe rip some shots out from 30 out. They're just not going to have great opportunities. This is kind of like, you can compare this to the way Nottingham Forest play in Premier League. I'm comparing Arsenal, Nottingham Forest here, but just from a higher level is how I think Arsenal are going to play this game. They're going to let PSG have the ball. They've done this They've done this a few times over the years. Recently, you can look at Arsenal home game against Chelsea, the one that won 1-0. Arsenal home game against Manchester City, that ended up being a 5-1 kind of crazy result a little bit. But they're allowing these teams who like to possess the ball. This is a completely different matchup than Real Madrid. You can look at the attackers and be like, okay, the PSG attackers line up to the Real Madrid attackers, but PSG play completely different than Real Madrid. Their midfield is also much better than Real Madrid's midfield has been this season. They also have these crazy attacking fullbacks as well. Just completely different matchup. I don't know if I'd compare them. You can't really compare them 1-to-1, of course, but because PSG do like to possess the ball, we've seen them play in their games against Aston Villa and Liverpool. We've seen them possess the ball. They possess the ball a crazy amount against Liverpool. And I think Arteta is going to be fine with allowing that possession. I know it's at home, so maybe it's not going to be like 70% PSG possession, but I think it's going to be PSG maybe get up to 55% possession. Obviously, it depends what happens. If Arsenal score 2 goals in the first 20 minutes, then it could be a little more lopsided. If PSG score first goal in the 20th minute, Arsenal have more possession. But I think that's kind of how things are going to go in this one. And I think that PSG will have more of the ball, but will they have better opportunities to score? When the PSG fullbacks are high up the pitch, can Arsenal succeed against those openings that PSG have had? I think the PSG Liverpool game kind of threw a lot of people off the scent of how PSG's defense has actually been playing this season. They are allowing goals. They are allowing a decent amount of goals. If you look at a lot of the recent games, you look at that Villa game, they allowed a lot of good chances in that game. And I think with the way Martinelli is playing, Martinelli has come back from his injury and looked like maybe the best version ever of Martinelli, which is which almost doesn't make sense. We look at Martinelli the first few months of the season, and it was like, okay, Arsenal need a new left winger. Basically, that was the conversation the first half of the season, and then he got hurt, and then he's come back, and he's just doing a little bit of everything. He's been awesome on the wing. He was awesome against Real Madrid. It's been kind of a funny situation there. He's also just going 90s almost in all these starts as well with all these games. Shu is saying Real Madrid wish they were half the team PSG is. Yeah, you could say that. Real Madrid just their midfield just not really at the same level, which is why they've had those struggles this season. So back to my original point, how are we going to play this in DFS? So cash games is kind of tricky because you have these really expensive players. I think I was coming to, maybe you could go at Dembele with your captain. It's just really difficult to put together what a lineup looks like without him. You probably have to fade one of Saka or Kvaratskhelia. You could captain Kvaratskhelia. He's a little cheaper. That would kind of open up a little more room, and you could still fit in Saka and Dembele. You probably start with those three in terms of cash games. I'm not sure a Declan Rice is going to fit that build. If you want Declan Rice in your lineup, you'd probably remove Kvaratskhelia. You probably move maybe Saka from that group. If you want Declan Rice in that group, I kind of would rather have the three attackers in this spot. I would fade the PSG fullbacks here in cash games. And then you look at the PSG midfielders, basically all those guys are in play. Fit whoever you are able to fit in your squad. Mikel Merino is somewhere in here, 8,400. Yeah, Mikel Merino, a little more expensive here, a little too expensive here in a deeper role. He's not playing in this false nine role, which he's been playing in a lot of times. So we have Trossard in there. Trossard, obviously expensive, it's not a cash play. So I'm looking at the PSG midfielders with this group. You're going to have to go with Timber is a little more expensive. You probably have to go with if you captain one of the big three, you're gonna have to go with one of the Arsenal center backs. I think that is almost the only route that you can get to. Like if I have Kvara captain with Saka, Dembele. Let's throw Fabian Ruiz in here. Let's throw I'm just putting stuff together. Joe Neves. You're left with 5,200. So that's just kind of what we're building here. You're almost stuck with going. You can't even like go Timber with this. You'd have to go. I mean, Timber isn't really much of a cash look. You could go Kiwior down here, and then that leaves you okay. If you really like Hakimi, you can play Hakimi. Douye is 7,400. You can find some kind of room to go there. Vitinha is up here, 6,400. So that's kind of the cash idea. Do you want to get to goalkeepers? Do you think there's going to be goals? Do you not think there's going to be goals? The clean sheets are both under 30%. I do think you could consider David Raya in cash games. He's 6K. He's kind of in the same range as the PSG midfielders. But kind of what I was mentioning with how no matter how this game goes, even if you don't think it's going to be Arsenal succeeding possession to PSG for large portions of this match, even if you don't think that's going to happen, the way the PSG play is they love to rip shots. They're going to be in a lot of one-on-one situations. It's going to be a lot of Douye. It's going to be a lot of Kvara going one-on-one against the fullbacks. Dembele is going to, be ripping shots from wherever he gets the ball, kind of a thing. They like to take shots from outside the box. And that leads to goalkeeper saves. We've seen in prior games, it wasn't Alisson in that Liverpool game, but we saw Liverpool's goalkeeper. What do you have? 8 shots or something? I think in that first leg, or 8 saves in that first leg. Maybe Martinez didn't have those high numbers, but I still remember Martinez having some big save games in those contests. I just think that it's reasonable that we could see 4-5 saves from David Raya in this spot. I'm sure his over under it's 3.5. I haven't looked at it. I'm sure it's maybe it's 3.5. I don't know if it'd be 2.5. That's a little low. But yeah, looking at these two games here, Martinez 8 saves at PSG, 5 saves in the home game. I don't think, maybe Raya's not going to get 13 saves across 2 legs here, but PSG do like taking shots from outside the box. That includes all of their midfielders as well. It includes all of the 3 attacking players. So I do think it's in play where Raya will make 4 or 5 saves, maybe only allows, if it's not a clean sheet, maybe only allows 1 or 2 goals. You're still in the range of, okay, you have 4 to 6 points, and then you have, in addition to that, maybe some upside if he does get to 6 or 7 saves. That's kind of extreme, but it's always possible here. So that was the initial cash look, and for tournaments here, I think the Discord, I'm always heavy on goalkeeper captains. I think this is a great spot for David Raya captain for a 1-0, 2-0 win. I don't know what his percentages are going to be like. I don't know what goalkeeper percentages have been like in Champions League. Maybe captaincy will be 5% for Raya. It's kind of hard to read. Donnarumma, sure, go for it. I don't usually like captaining goalkeepers against Arsenal. Not really the best look, because they're not the same kind of team that's just going to be ripping low quality shots. They're going to get good quality shots. They're either going to score or not going to score. Tournaments, playoff, you think it's going to be low scoring, or you think both teams are going to score. I think it's pretty easy to get different here with your captain in tournaments. Odegaard hasn't been playing well. Maybe Captain Odegaard. Maybe it's a good game for him. Mikel Merino, doubt people are going to be playing him. He's not going to be a popular play. 8,400. He's kind of expensive playing a deeper role. Martinelli, how popular is he going to be? He's at 9K. He's a little cheaper than those high end guys, but people aren't going to have money for these players that are between 7K and 9K. It's going to be a lot of Dembele. It's going to be a lot of Saka. Trossard's not going to be popular. How many minutes is he going to get? That's another question. And yeah, Trossard, definitely more of a tournament play. So I think the 3 most popular players, Dembele, Saka, and Kvaratskhelia, they'll be the 3 most popular players. So you just get different from those guys. Captain, one of the older goal scorers. Captain Douye. We saw Douye go off in that first game against Aston Villa. Minutes concern, of course, Douillet and Trossard, minutes concern. Martinelli, not a minutes concern. And Martinelli, these fullbacks get so far forward that, okay, let's say Saka is going to be 70%, but Martinelli is going to be 40%. Let's say Saka's captaincy is 20%, Martinelli's captaincy maybe below 10% here. So Captain Martinelli going against Hakimi, build it around there. Maybe get a goal and assist for Martinelli. Maybe throw in another goal scorer from PSG and kind of make things happen like that. So you can get a little different here and there. I'm not sure how popular Declan Rice is going to be with this price. He's priced over Martin Odegaard now. Odegaard, he hasn't really shown up with numbers in recent play. He's kind of taken a back seat here. But as for Declan Rice's upside without Thomas Partey in there, I kind of am a little tentative on that one. He's going to have his usual set pieces, but he might be playing a little deeper here without Partey, unless Mikel Merino is in that deep role. But we don't really know exactly how Arsenal are going to look in terms of that. So those are some ideas there just to get different with your tournament lineups. I'll build a Raya captain here before I take off. Just a couple ideas here. So Raya captain, I did one earlier. You don't even, because Lewis Skelly is midfield only, he's not a play. Timber isn't really much of a better play than the other guys. Maybe he is. Maybe you do want Timber with Raya. Timber compared to Saliba and Kiwior is what I was going to mention. But you could still get Raya. You can still get Dembele or Kvara in here, or you get both if you really want it. You could do Raya with Martinelli and Saka. Timber, if you throw in, let's just do Dembele here, and you can mix and match here. You can mix and match. I'm just building off the fly here. So Raya with Martinelli, Saka, Timber, and Saliba. So I have two Arsenal defenders, not really required with this group, but instead of Timber, you could do. It's kind of hard here. You could do Vitinha. Again, you can mix and match with these guys. Raya with Saliba and Timber, Martinelli, Saka, Dembele. My favorite thing, but just some ideas there that you can do. But this is kind of what we're looking at here. Again, RotoWire, Roto15, ROTO15 is the promo code, 15% off any RotoWire subscription. Then once you're in, rotowire.com/chat to get into our Discord. Final projection for me. I'll give a goal projection here. Do I think Arsenal are going to keep a clean sheet? I think that is the big question we have here. I'm going to go 2-0. Let's go 2-0. 2-1. Let's go 2-1. I'm not going to go the clean sheet. I'll go 2-1 Arsenal. 2-1 at home. Arsenal get the opener. PSG get one back. Arsenal get a winner. 70th-ish minute, and they hold on for that 2-1 opening win. So let's go 2-1. I'm not I would lean under, but I don't really have a preference there. I would say Arsenal double chance. I don't think Arsenal are going to lose this game. That's kind of where I'll start. I don't think Arsenal are going to lose. Corner-wise is tough. I may say under Arsenal double chance with like under 1.5 goals first half and under 10.5 or 11.5 corners for the game. Something like that is probably what I'll do for a single game parlay. But that's all I got. RotoWire Soccer, rotowire.com/soccer. Check out, follow our Twitter. Make sure to give a thumbs up on this video. Give it a thumbs up. I'll be back probably tomorrow. If not, check us out in the Discord. Thank you for listening to this, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Good luck on this showdown.